Yeah, I think it's important that we approach the week like a normal week, knowing the importance of the game, but preparations have gone well so far. Tactically preparing exactly how we want to approach the game. We know the strength of the opponent. We know where we can exploit them in terms of their weaknesses, and yeah, all guns blazing so far. But it's only Tuesday, and still 4 training sessions left before we tackle the derby.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think so far so good. The mood has been good. We've been working so hard these past 2 weeks, and yeah, the new guys they've been doing well. They know what to do on Saturday, but we take this game one step, like each and every game on the weekend. So we focus on it, and everyone is motivated for this game.
I think it's all credit to the whole team, because the fire and desire that's sparking in the team has been one of a kind. So I can be as good as all my teammates and the whole team. So what you can expect is the same Orlando Pirates that's always wants to win a game at a time. So that's what you can expect from me.
Afternoon, everyone. I think the coach has said it. I think as difficult as it may be, it's about trying to treat this match, as a normal match. We know what it means to the supporters. We know the importance of the game currently with the league standings. We know all eyes will be on this game, but I think for us as professionals, we have to try and treat it as a match. 3 points available to us, so. The focus just has to be on that and not so much on the occasion. But so otherwise, the preparations have been going well. We haven't done anything different. We're just doing what we normally do week in and week out, and just looking forward to the game on Saturday.
I think you have to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Chiefs are actually the informed team. They lost 1 game now in the league. The game before that they lost was against SuperSport, and they've been pretty much consistent throughout the season, hence their position. The other hand is, do you really read into form when it comes to a derby like this? I don't think so. I think their coach is experienced enough to be calm this week. I think his players will pick up. If there's any change in him this week, he's experienced enough, I know him quite well. He'll be calm, he'll approach the game as a normal game, not leading too much into what is said outside. And I expect them full strength, I expect them firing, I expect them playing to their strengths. And it will be a really tough game. We have to be at our best to get the 3 points, and that is what it's about. We not for 1 second is going into the game underestimating Kaizer Chiefs because they lost in the cup now on penalties. No ways. We know they are the team that's on top of the log, and we are a team that's only picking up form now, late in the season. So yes, we'll approach the game as we're playing against a team that's top of the log, trying to get the 3 points, and that's it. Oh, it's quite clear they have a number 1, and that's Akpay. I don't think they will change. I said it before, form does not really matter when it comes to a derby. That is why we're not going into the game relaxing, because we've won a couple of games in a row. That's not it. We approach the game as a new slate. It is a game, and we're not talking about title race at all. The title race is for Kaizer Chiefs, Sandilands, and Bidvest. We only, and as our new coach came in, only focusing game by game. And that's how we've approached all games so far, and that's how we approach this game. We know the importance of the game for the supporters, for the pride, for the badge, but it's still 3 points at stake, and we'll approach the game to try and get that 3 points. That's it.
I've played so many games, and I still feel this goosebumps each and every game when I play against Chiefs, and I think it still brings this back, in South Africa, because there's a lot of things that you need to play for. The family, the people who died, when they were watching the games. So it's a lot of emotions in terms of this game. But as a team, we've been doing great so far, and I think we're going to do well in this game.
Yeah, the The derby is a special day in South Africa, not only South African football, it's where the country stops. And our coach is experienced enough, having played in big derbies before in his career, and there's no need to tell him the importance or what the derby is all about. He knows it. But of course, you get special players that come into the fore that perhaps have not been in contention even. They have the big match temperament. They have the just the feeling for coming onto the pitch, not taking care of the crowd, not being overwhelmed by the experience, and they just go out there and perform. And it's about finding those players that can win you the derby. I think history has shown who those players are, but like I said, you get out there and you experience it, you're on the pitch, and the tactical instruction stops. It's out there on the players now. They cannot hear you. They cannot even see you in the moment of the occasion. So we have to prepare the players exactly for what is about to happen, what could happen, and what changes they have to make by small signals. And that is what it's about. And that's how we'll approach the game. But like I said, the coach is experienced enough to be able to know exactly how to approach this game, how to handle a game of this magnitude, yes. I think in terms of football school, they both come out of the same German school, where a lot is focused on verticality, quick counter-attacks. And so the football thinking and the football approach is quite similar. Of course, Ernst has changed over the years since I had him as a player and then started to work with him. He's always kept up with the latest trends and always going into. So saying Ernst is the same when I met him to what he is right now. It's definitely not for me to say. I haven't worked with him now over a couple of years, and things he's done, things he's picked up, and things he's developed is completely different to when I worked with him. So. Yeah, personality-wise, I think it's completely different. They each one with a strong will, with a strong organization skill set, what Germans are born with. But both have the same willingness to win everything where it comes to a training session, and you put your the exercise to win in the exercise, to win in every little thing they do, whether we're playing a card game, out of it, whatever, they want to win. And I think that is where they're both similar in terms of always wanting to win, but you cannot compare the two. It's both good coaches, completely different, but where it comes to the football sense, like I said, they both have their pro license out of the same university in Germany, so that is quite similar. But of course, they're completely different in terms of personality, in terms of how they approach things, in terms of how they set up their training sessions, but both wanting the same outcome, of course, that is to win a football match. So that's not where you cannot compare them or set them apart. They both have that desire to win. The relationship where it comes to a match like this is we're enemies. Of course, he's done a lot for me throughout my career. He's taken me from one day to the next, one day in the players' change room, the next day in the coaches' change room, and I cannot thank him enough for what he's done for me. Of course, we in contact not on a regular basis, but always at the end of the season we'll sit down and discuss football, which is normal, to discuss the latest trends, to discuss football in depth. But once the season starts, there is no relationships. We're on different sides of the fence, and we keep that professional relationship to a distance, especially when the season's on. Yeah, I think it's quite different for each of them, and it's like that for any new player. I've worked with Tshegofatso Mabaso, I worked with Kabadinho Mahango at Celtic as well, and it's different for each player coming to a big club. Some need more time, some immediately come in and can perform to the level, but strictly in terms of fortune, and I've spoken to him before, he's not yet playing at his best. I know there's still more that he has to unlock, that potential within him, and the same with Ndlovu. He's only now beginning to settle into the environment, beginning to play football what we know he can, but not near half his potential as well. So there's so much more to come out of these players, and not only speaking about Fortune and Glovo, new players that have come in, Kabelo Dlamini as well, the new players that have Kakabadinho Mahango, Tsegofatso Mabasa, and all the new players. They need time to get used to the environment, to know exactly what's at stake at a big club. That's the first point. And the next point is changing 3 coaches, different philosophies in one season. That also gives the player a bit more adaptation time, more time to really showcase their true potential. And we have not yet seen the potential of Kabadinho Mahango, Kabelo Dlamini, Tsegofatso Mabasa, Fortune, Makaringe and Glovo, our new players that have joined the beginning of the season. We have not yet. There is still so much to unlock within them, and it's our job as coaches to try and get them to that level where they're playing to their full potential.
Yeah, you said it that David redeemed himself. Yeah, we're looking forward for this one. We're just looking for a 3 point as a team. You know, we're not looking for about anything else. And the most important thing, we don't have to play the occasion. You know, it's just to play the game. You know, we just have to be smart on the day, and I think it's very important for the team.
As a coach, you're always learning and developing yourself, and you know. I've tried to do that throughout my career, is learn from each and every coach I've worked with over the time, and there are many, and not only those I've worked with closely, but those I've played under as well. And of course, each coach will have an effect on your thinking, on your football idea. But of course, that's only the starting point. The next step is for you to go out and do your research and really find your own identity, what works, what does not work, what will work in terms of the South African player, how to get the best out of the culture we have over here. And I can talk about Ernst Middendorp for days, I can talk about Joe Zinbauer for days, but I don't think right now I should do that, but both of them have had an impact on me. Of course, Joe only now for a few months, but already the working relationship is really good, and we hope we can continue. Yeah, I don't think you can really point it down to one thing. Of course, the coach, Joe Zinbauer, has to get a lot of credit for that, for the turnaround, for what he's done so far and the results we've been getting. But of course, everything plays a part. I think you can't discredit Coach Michu when he was here, Coach Rulani when he was here, and then ultimately I think the players came to a point when they said enough is enough, and really took to the new coach and decided, look, it's time that we start getting results. So it's a collective. It's from what happened in the past 2 years, from what's happened now, from the experiences we went through, a very rocky start in the beginning. The coach, deserves most of the credit for coming in, stabilizing, putting a clear structure in, trying to get the best players on the pitch, and putting a clear structure. He has so many ideas that he wants to implement, but knowing it's not the right time right now, perhaps at a later stage, more tactical ideas, but for him, using his experience to be able to see exactly what is necessary at this moment in time, what is necessary for the players to get consistency, to get that team cohesion. I think he deserves the credit, but not taking out all the factors that has happened that is contributing to our success right now. Yeah, we of course wanted to be in the next round of the Nedbank, and that would have been the ultimate, the perfect situation, but we have to deal with what we have right now, 2 weeks without the game. And you have a friendly match, you don't get the rhythm that you need, you try to get it in the friendly match, but you know, in terms of, it's not a conscious thing that the players do, but you play a friendly match 1 week before the derby, unconsciously the players are going to give 10% less, knowing that they do not want to get injured, so you don't really get out of the friendly match what you get out of a competitive games, like say for instance the Nedbank Cup. So yes, we are at a bit of a disadvantage, but that is what has happened. And we try to get the best out of our situation and trying to be ready for the match. Ultimately, like I said, the perfect situation is being in the Nedbank Cup, going to the next round, building that confidence, but we'll be prepared 100%. Some players, on the other hand, the advantages of not playing is some players get to recover from the injuries and you get players more fresher. But yes, like I said, the derby is a different game. Form goes out the window, game rhythm goes out the window, and it's that 90 minutes from start to finish is what determines the result. In terms of formation, I don't think it's really the same formation we've been playing. I think the coach is quite flexible, changing in matches to different formations, to different strategies within the formation. And I think that has been the major change, whether we press high, whether we press in a medium block, whether we play for the next 15 minutes in a counter-attacking situation. So there has been, formation is one point, but there has been a lot of changes that has been happening in terms of our approach to the game, that the players have been taking step by step. And like I said, the new coach has come in and not wanting to reinvent the wheel or not wanting to make a 360-degree change, but step by step trying to implement his style of play, exactly how he wants things to be done, and still not perfect. Yes, the results have been there, but I think we're realistic enough to know, for instance, a game against Black Leopards that we score in the last minute with a deflection is not down to formation or not down to anything. So step by step, what the coach is trying to implement and knowing what new information the players can take and cannot take. Of course, we have a technical staff, highly qualified people that is always his sounding board, giving him the information from the physical side, from the analysis side, in terms of the opposition as well. So, like I said, the coach has, I think, systematically put in step by step, and of course, it's a never-ending thing, because you aim for perfection, but you never get there. And I think step by step we're getting there, building exactly what he wants to implement, and step by step I think we will get there, but it needs more time, definitely. Of course, Tsegofatso has been in form and is second top goal scorer after Gaba. But so it is for other players as well, Justin Shonga as well, Zakela Lepasa as well. The competition is really high, and I think that has been our strength as well. Gaba knowing that if he drops his guard, another striker will come in and take his place. And Tsegofatso, we know his quality, we know he can score goals, but so do we know Justin Shonga, so do we know Zakele Lepasa. And the competition is really high, not only for Mabasa, but for all players, knowing that if one is out, the next one can come in and do a similar job, if not threaten to take over his position. And I think that's the most important thing in terms of a squad. Yeah, if you talk about last season, I think we won 5 out of 6 games and drawing against Cape Town City, which did not give us the league, but it's a completely different situation. We have nine matches remaining. We won, since the coach came, he's drew 1 and won the rest. And of course, you want to continue that form. It's not a secret. You want to win every match. And our next 4 matches is Arrows, Bidvest and Sundowns and Bidvest, and we want to approach it game at a time. We're not even thinking about title race. I think it will be extremely the biggest mistake we can make, because the teams are so far ahead of us and have games in hand as well. It's not for us to even think about the title right now. We are building towards next season. We are approaching game by game, and to win the next match, I think, is the most important thing for us. It's a song you can say we sing from the same hymn book, but that's the approach we are taking. By taking the next 90 minutes is the most important 90 minutes of the season, and that's how we approach it. Yeah, I think that approach has probably got to be down to the coach, where he's really tried to develop this unit thinking that we defend from the front and we defend with 11 players. And defending from the front means not that we go into a deep block, but perhaps we defend from the front like pressing a team high up the pitch or pressing a team in zone 2. And I think that has been the mentality shift that whether it's Lodge, whether it's Mahango, whether it's Pule, Memela, or whoever's playing Muwowo up front, you have a clear instruction in terms of your task, what to do in terms of each opponent, how to press them, where to press them, and it's a collective unit. We can complement Wayne, we can complement the defense line, but I think the complement should go down to the whole team in terms of the attacking players, how they work as a defensive unit, not only relying on the defense to keep a clean sheet, but to change the mentality, what the coach has put in, to have this unit thinking in terms of we defend as a team, we attack as a team, and keep this unit together, which will make it easier for us to recover the ball or transition between the different phases of the game. Yeah, if we get 3 points, I think it will make things more interesting for Sundowns. Of course, they will be 1 point behind. I'm sure they will win their match. Will make things more interesting for Sundowns. Chiefs still have a game in hand, and that will make us back to 4 points again with their game in hand that they have. So it's the first time I hear that we are favourites. I think our players know that we are not favourites going into this game, looking at the table, looking at the overall standing of the league. And we have to motivate our players to believe that we can win the game. I think that is the approach we are taking. We've been on a run, we've been winning games, yes, but we are not favourites, and we don't see ourselves as favourites. And as soon as we get into this mindset of we can win just by coming onto the pitch, I think that is the wrong approach. And like I said, we have to be... Chiefs are so flexible in the way they play. They can change formation at any time. They can score with a set piece. They can score through combination play. They can score through at any moment in the game with the individual quality they have. And we have to be prepared for all situations we are faced. And we go into the game fully prepared, tactically knowing exactly how we have to approach the game, but definitely not with a favourite mindset. Definitely going into the game believing we can win it, yes, having the confidence to go out there and give the supporters a fantastic game of football, playing attacking football and trying to win the game, of course, ultimately, but not with a favourite tag, but going with the mindset that we're going out there to fight for the 3 points, no matter what we do, and we're going to do everything in our power to get that 3 points. The supporters and the fans can be assured that we're going onto that pitch to do everything in our power to win the match, and that is the approach we go into the match with.